Guys, right, let me mute the radio. There you go, that's better. I've turned it off. Right, it's Terrible Tuesday. Yay! It's done and dusted. Praise the Lord. So we've got Tuesday to look forward to now. Let me put my selfie stand up, guys. Just got to get it sorted and get it set up for you. There you go. Right. Get the feet out. Right, let me put the stand up. Right, I have turned the hot water on, but I might not have enough hot water yet, so I might have to boil the kettle up. I'll flick that on now, just in case. Right, somebody messaged me today, mate. We were just talking in general, and they've been watching, there's on TV at the moment, if you go on to Quest, which is what I tend to watch, there's some cycling going on in Italy. It's a bit like the Tour de France, but the Italian version. And that came up in the conversation. And they said, have you ever been to Italy? I said, oh look, I've made myself all wet. They said, have you ever been to Italy? I said, oh yes, I've had some lovely holidays in Italy. First time I went to Italy was in 1986. I think it was 1986. No, I'll take it back. 1982. It was with my younger sister. And, oh, that's hot. That is hot. And it was my first ever European road trip. And I had a Mark 1 Cavalier. Let me just grab the bowl, guys. And I booked 2 weeks holiday. This is before you used to get sat-nav, so you had to do this all by map. And so I planned a route, and I did my usual thing, where I booked a crossing. We sailed across from Ramsgate to Dunkirk by the Sally line. If you've ever heard of the Sally line, it was the Sally line. And we went across. I felt really sick. I felt really sick on the ship, but that was the only time I think I felt that bad. And I went to Italy. That's the first time I ever went to Italy, and it was fantastic. I went to Venice. You had to go to Venice. I went on a gondola. That's really expensive, and that's back in 1982. That was expensive, so I hate to think what it would cost you to go on the gondolas now. But it was really expensive back then. Trying to sort this out, guys. Look, I can fill the bowl up. And then I went again when I got married for my my honeymoon, and I took my then wife, and we went for another 2-week trip. We went right across Europe we did northern Italy. We did Pisa, Florence, and Pisa, Florence, and Venice. But we didn't go south. We didn't go south any further south than that at the time. And that was a fantastic holiday. Really, really enjoyed that. And the car I had then was a Vauxhall Nova, 1 litre, 3-door hatchback. That was the family car at the time. So I went all that way in a 1 litre Nova. Happy days. And then the last time I went was just before we had COVID and the lockdown, probably about a year or two before then. And the car I had then was a Honda CR-V. And that was an epic trip. That one was fantastic. Again, I got down into Italy, but this time I wanted to go further down in Italy than I'd ever been before. So what happened then was I drove, more or less, as soon as I got into Europe, I headed for Italy. I sort of gunned it down towards Italy so that I'd have more time in Italy. And I'll just tip the camera up a little bit, guys. There you go. And that's it. I think we're sorted. Oh. And so I ended up in northern Italy. I came down through Germany, through Switzerland, into Italy. Went down the east coast of Italy, down past Rome, Naples and to Pompeii. That's as far south as I got. I wanted to go right down to the foot of Italy, but by the time I got down to Pompeii, I'd used a week of my holiday already, and obviously I still had to get back, so that was as far as I got. Pompeii was the furthest I got, and then headed back from there, went back through Rome, and then went up the east coast of Italy, up to Lake Garda, into Austria, Switzerland, went to St. Moritz, and then back into Germany, Luxembourg, Belgium, then back into France and back again. And that was fantastic. What a holiday that was. That was a holiday to remember. Really, really good. And that all came back into my mind when I was talking to this person, because we were talking about cycle racing in Italy. And tonight they're actually in Pisa, or they finished in Pisa. And obviously I've been to Pisa. I've been to Pisa about 3-4 times now. Fantastic. I love Italy. It's a wonderful country. There was something that happened when we were driving down. It was by Rome, going down to Rome. We weren't on a motorway. It was a main road, but not a motorway. And as we were driving down, this was with my now ex-wife, but as we were driving down towards Rome, we noticed, I don't know if you've got these, but these plastic garden chairs you get. I've got 4 of these green plastic garden chairs. Well, when we were driving down towards Rome, kept noticing these plastic chairs on the side of the road, sort of spread about. And then I came across a lady in an luminous pink bikini, sat on one of these chairs on the side of the road. The penny didn't drop initially. But then a little bit further I saw another one, and that was in a luminous green or orange, and they're all very different colours, all in bikinis, and then the penny dropped. So yeah, that was interesting. So I didn't stop, it's alright, I didn't stop. But yeah, and Rome, I loved Rome. And Rome had, as many big cities do, it had its own kind of underground or metro. And we went to, I'm trying to think the name of the station we headed for. It was like Pyramid or something like that. And then we caught the underground train into like the centre of Rome, to the Colosseum, and then did loads of walking around the Colosseum. It was wonderful, so good, and very, very touristy, as you can imagine. And when I went there, there was lots of coach trips or coach parties, and people walking around with sticks or flags, and groups of people following them. Yeah, I do love. As much as I love going to places like that, I've done it now. So I wouldn't need to do it again. And there's other places to see when you go to Italy. Okay, I've done the big bits. It's a bit like going down to London. I've been to London loads of times. I don't particularly like going to London because it's so congested, but I've been there, I've done all the touristy bits. So I don't really need to do that again. And I like to go, now when I go to places like that, I like to go off the beaten track and find those places that aren't really touristy. And that's what I really love now. So if I went back to Italy again, I probably wouldn't mind going back down to Pompeii, because I love Pompeii. Pompeii was a fantastic place to go to. But yes, I'll try to miss the real touristy bits and try and go on the back roads, if you like, and find these little villages and towns. That's what I really enjoy. So yes, that was a good conversation we had about that. I've been in conversations with one of my Northern Angels, or my Scottish Angels tonight, and I've managed to book some holiday for June. I've used all my holiday up there. My holiday is totally gone, but I have managed to book my remaining holiday for when my Scottish Angels come down in June, guys. So that's going to be really good. I'm going to have to do the same as I did before and go and pick them up from Stansted. They're going to fly down to Stansted, and I'll go and pick them up from Stansted, and then after their holiday I'll take them back to Stansted so they can get back to Glasgow. So yes, I'm really looking forward to that. So that's coming round quick. It's a really busy day at work today, and the weather. When I first went to work this morning, it looked, as I left where I live at Lavenham, and it was lovely and sunny. but the nearer I got to Bury St Edmunds, it hazed over. Almost looked like there was smoke. It must have been just low cloud, but it almost looked like there was smoke. And by the time I got to Bury, it was quite hazy. But that soon lifted, and once that lifted, wow, what a glorious day. I think this is the hottest day of the week. This is supposed to be the hottest day of the week. I think it goes down a little bit from here, but then picks up again towards the weekend. But I think there is chance of rain at the weekend. But we'll worry about that if it happens. My garden could definitely do with some rain, because my garden looks very dry now. My grass does anyway. What grass I've got, I haven't got a lot of grass, but it does look very dry. So, yeah. I got a delivery this morning as well. I ordered a brown bin for my garden so I can get rid of my garden waste, and that turned up today. So I've now got all my bins. I've got a brown bin for the garden waste, I've got a blue bin for recyclables, and then I've got a grey bin for the general waste. And I've got to put my bin out tonight. I think it's the grey bin, but I'll have a look out the window and see what everybody else has put out, so I'll put the right bin out. That's that one. Right, I'll do my breadboards next. I'm going to do cheese sandwiches tonight because tomorrow is cheese day. Oh, there we go. So I've got to do both my chopping boards. Now, I was supposed to take Sooty to the vets today to have his ears done. He was going to have his, he was going to be sedated, and then they were going to do a deep clean on his ears, take a sample from the ear that's still got the infection to find out what it is and send it away for analysis. And we were going to go from there. Well, I had to phone up the vets this morning to say that he had inadvertently had something to eat, because he shouldn't have had anything to eat, but he'd inadvertently had something to eat. And so I phoned him up and I've rescheduled it for Thursday now. So that's not a huge problem. It's just a case of he accidentally had something to eat. Shouldn't have given it to him. Just didn't think. It was one of those, oh no. So phoned up the vets. The vets were very good. They said we can still do them. They said, but we'd rather postpone it to another day if we can. And so I've rebooked for Thursday. So that's all done. So Thursday's the day now. Right, there we go. Once I've done this washing, guys, I'm going to go and have my shower, and then I'm going to come down and do my sandwiches and my apple pies. But I want to have my shower first. I thought I'd try and get an early wash in tonight. Still lovely light outside. I did sit in the garden as soon as I got back from work, and I had one of my strawberry cornettos. Really nice. I was looking forward to that all day. A lot of people I work with at the garage will go home and they'll sit in the garden and have a tinny. They all have their beers or their lager, they sit in the garden. There's me, I go home, I have a cup of tea and a Mars bar or a lollipop. A little bit of difference there. Oh dear. I love this time of day, I really do. I've got a little a pink tank top or vest top on tonight. I came home, I was really hot when I got home, so I just got changed. I haven't put a bra back on at the moment because I knew I was going to go in and have a shower, and then I'll put my night in dressing gown on when I've had my shower, guys. So I just feel really cool. It was lovely sitting in the garden like this, feeling the sun on your arms. It's beautiful. But that's gone now. It's just gone a little bit cloudy now. So, but it's been a lovely day. I'm not complaining. Right. Get rid of that. I did a shop when I came home from work yesterday because I came home and I went via Sudbury because I wanted to get some things from Tesco's because I was running out of bread. I was on my last loaf of bread, so I thought, well, when I go home I'll go to Sudbury first and go to Tesco's, which I did, and I got myself some more loaves of bread, and I also got some dog biscuits for my boys, some dental sticks, so what else did I get? Oh, some bonios, so things like that, things that I should have got on the Friday but didn't manage to get around to getting because I've left it a bit too late. So I'm up to date. I've got everything I need. So, and the cups. That's about it, guys. There's not a lot to do tonight. And right, that's everything out of the sink done. Let's do these cups. And that just leaves me the calendar to do, and I'm done. I should have bought some quiches. I was thinking about buying some quiches when I went to Tesco's the other day, but I usually get my quiches from Sainsbury's because I find they're really nice. And I should have done that on the Friday night. So maybe for this coming Friday. Depends what the weather looks like. But I've still got lots of salady things. I've got tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce. I've still got my potato salad, my coleslaw, so I've still got loads in the fridge. I had gammon tonight, gammon with a salad, with tomatoes, lettuce, cucumbers, so that was really nice. That's it. And that one. I've got to find the dog's dishes. I think Snoop's is in the shower room, and I think Sooty's is on the stove behind me. I'll move Sooty because Sooty didn't eat all his tonight, and if I leave it on the floor, Snoop will eat it. Well, Snoop eats enough. You know, he's put a lot of weight on. I want to actually try and reduce his weight, not to put more weight on. So I did pick it up and put it on the stove so Snoop wouldn't get it. I might knock out the worst of it and put it on the floor so Snoop can lick it clean for me, and then I can wash up what's left. So I'll do that in a second. Right, this is the last thing to do. It's doggy stuff now, guys. Put that there. Whoops. That's that one. Good. Oh, and I got a surprise phone call today. When I got in the car to drive home, my phone rang. Now, Peter in the care home I've got a specific ringtone for Peter. So if Peter phones me, I know as soon as the phone rings, it's Peter. And my phone rang and it was Peter's ringtone. I thought, that can't be Peter. Because when I saw him on the Sunday, he couldn't lift his arms up. He couldn't do this, he couldn't do that. He's looking very sorry for himself and laying in his bed. He'd been told not to move, stay in his bed, which he was doing. Well, my phone rang at 5 o'clock today, and it was Peter. So I answered it. I said, Peter? And he said, hi, April. But he didn't say April, actually. I won't say what he did say. He said, I'm sat up in my chair. I said, you're out of your bed then? He said, it's lovely and sunny here. Don't forget, Peter only gets half this conversation because he can't hear me on his phone. And this is the problem I've had with Peter all along. He wants you to be able to phone him, but he can't hear you because he won't put his flipping hearing aids in. So I had the usual conversation with Peter this evening, but he sounded his old self. And when I got home, I got a phone call from Peter's relation called Teresa. She phoned me up to say, I've just had a phone call from Peter. And I said, so have I. So, yay. So it sounds like Peter has made a miraculous recovery. Watch this space, guys. But the way he sounded on the phone, he sounded like the old Peter. So, yeah, keep your fingers crossed. Right, let me grab the dog's bowls. I'll take you with me because one's in the other room. And Snoop will possibly come through if he hears me pick this up. I don't know where Snoop is yet. Right, there's his bowl. Right, that's his bowl. Oh, he's sat there. I'll show you where he is, look. Can you see him? There he is, look. See him facing me. Just, where is he? There. Right, now, if I get Sooty's bowl, which has still got food in it, you watch this. Here he comes. I haven't even picked it up yet. He knows what I'm going to do. Right. Right, that's the worst of Sooty's done. And I'll put the dish on the floor and Snoop can now lick it out. But I'm not letting Snoop eat all of that because it was just too much. So he can lick that one out for me and then I can wash it. Sooty's watching, look. Sooty now wants his dinner. Now it's too late. So Sooty can eat normally tomorrow, which is Wednesday, but then he mustn't have anything after tomorrow because he's got to go to the vets on Thursday morning. So tomorrow will be a normal day, and then after tomorrow, Sooty can't eat until after he's been to see the vet. Right, how you doing, Snoop? Have you finished yet? Because I need your bowl now. And he's still licking. Right, that's one done. Right, Snoop, can I have that, please? Still waiting. Snoopy, have you finished yet? Can you hear that? Snoop, have you finished? Can I have that bowl? Let me have it. Let me have it. Here you go. There you go. My coffee's getting better, guys. I had a really, really good night last night. The night before I didn't have a good night at all, but last night I slept so well. I did wake up before my alarm, and I always seem to do that. And I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I looked at the clock and thought, oh good, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I've still got another hour and a half to go. Sorry, 5:30 I got up. So yeah, so I went to the bathroom, came back, went to bed, and I fell fast asleep again. So that was absolutely glorious. I was woken up by my alarm. So that was really nice. And I didn't cough. I didn't have any coughing fits last night. And I did prop myself up on my pillows a little bit more, so I was a little bit higher. And that seemed to do the trick. So I'm going to try again the same tonight. But it seems like no 2 nights are the same. Sometimes I have a really good night and then it all goes wrong again. But I had a good night last night. Right, that's it, guys. I'm not doing any more tonight. Now I'm going to walk up the garden. And then off we go. Are you going up the garden, Sooty? No, Sooty's not interested. Right, I'm going to go up the garden anyway myself because I want to put the wheelie bin out the front. I'm going to look out the front window first, just to see what everybody else has put out there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the grey bin, and then I'll just put my grey bin out. Right, that's it. Right, we're all rinsed off. Right guys, I'm going to log out now. I'm going to put this video on for you. This one's just coming up to about 23 minutes long. So I'm going to turn this one off, load it for you, pop my wheelie bin out, and then go and have a shower. So I'm going to speak to you guys later when I come down again. And I'll be in my nightie by then. Nightie and dressing gown. Right guys, I shall speak to you guys later. Okay, bye-bye.